It's day one of E3 2014. The show floor doors have opened. It's
and
the
closed.
VideoGamer UK Podcast. They have actually. What time is it? It's pretty late, isn't it?
It's about 10 past 10.
Yeah. Crikey. But we're here.
Late.
We're staying up. We're burning the midnight
6 in the
oil.
morning the next day back home.
How are we going to do this? We can start with Nintendo and then work our way down.
Well, I guess we'll just chat about the stuff we've actually played today. We haven't just looked at. We played.
Can we start talking about Nintendo?
Yep. I guess. Oh crap. Also, yeah, Nintendo Direct.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Arguably the best press
Oh, I
conference.
thought it was terrible.
Of the whole thing.
I thought it was the worst one.
You
yeah.
didn't. You just want to
No,
be
I
a
didn't.
negative Miller because you think that's a cool character to have.
Everyone loves Negative Miller.
they don't.
They do. I got a lot of good feedback for Negative Miller.
You know what else got good feedback? Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, right? Zelda does look amazing. Like, it looks incredible.
The Zelda thing, by the way, I'm not really a big Zelda fan, but I saw on the Twitter sphere that people were questioning whether that was indeed Link who had.
I'd imagine it will
fucking
be Link.
name.
And, like, he always looks a bit like a fairy boy, so...
Was it not? So we don't
It was
know.
a fairy boy elf thing, so you
Yeah.
can make it look quite feminine and it, doesn't...
When has there been a Zelda game where the star hasn't been Link?
I don't know. Tell me.
Has that ever been a thing? I don't think it has, is it?
No, I don't think so.
So why would they start now?
I don't know, Dave. I'm just asking a question.
But what I want to say this. It looks amazing, obviously. It looks incredible. I got very excited when I watched it. But I still find it a little bit ridiculous that because they make the new Link game open world, people go absolutely crazy. GTA 3 was an open world. Like, this should have happened years ago. And everyone goes, it's still good. I'm not saying it's not good. But Nintendo do get a free pass with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Any other games would have been
Okay,
like, well, yeah.
you have to innovation then. You want innovation from...
No,
something,
I don't.
You want something brand new from Nintendo?
No.
Cool, please work with me.
No,
I really need
I'm
this
telling
segue.
you, I want them
Just
to make-
anything.
I would like this.
You'd like it, Splatoon.
No, before we go to
Best
Splatoon...
shooter.
No, I want
shooter.
the classic stuff again.
Yeah.
Of E3 2014.
I just want to point out that I'd much rather just remade Zelda the same forever. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, good.
But that was really good. Everything they did.
Problem with
was good.
Splatoon, right?
Don't come at me on Splatoon. I really like it.
As nice as it looks,
Yep.
is that it's a Wii U online shooter.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, the last one was that Sega game. What was that on Wii?
Conduit.
The Conduit.
Oh,
That
what
was terrible.
are you talking? What,
I
as in,
worked on that.
like,
Did you really?
Yeah.
You ate it?
Yeah,
Did it have
it
bugs?
was fucking shite. It's terrible. Everyone knew it was terrible.
well, maybe this.
Everyone
Do you
knew
know
it
what?
was in Sega.
Everyone knew.
Shit.
And on we went.
you lie to yourself every
Gonna
day.
make a joke.
I thought it was De Blob at first.
The Blob.
De Blob.
Do you remember how everyone pretended to love the Blob when secretly it was rubbish and we all knew it?
I thought De Blob 2 was all right.
The Blob 2.
Yeah.
Electric
Blob
Boogaloo.
2.
Well,
Splatoon. They one of the reasons they just made the game was because someone said, "Hey, what if we make them squids?" Like that's all I need to hear. That's game development right there. That's pure. That's they've got a clear idea of what the game needs to
Yeah,
be.
but you're weird.
It's squids.
you're
It
not
was
the
cool though. You
norm.
got to admit, like for like in terms of new ideas for shooters, it's pushing boundaries more than some of the biggest
the
franchises.
No, it
fastest shooter
isn't.
It
in
is.
20 years, to be fair.
What boundaries is it pushing?
The way,
If you say
like-
squid boundaries, this podcast is done.
The way
But it's
movement
not,
works
it's
in,
not
in
white
throughout the
men
entire
with
thing.
guns shooting each other for
Well, that's
a start.
true.
Also, it's the only shooter that like Nintendo
Squids.
could actually do because they can't do a super realistic modern military shooter. They need to
they
be
could.
daft and they need to have squids in it. And I enjoyed it. I thought the whole concept was cool.
It will come out and you'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm not
Next.
reviewing that shit. What are you on about?
So Smash Bros was good. What else was there?
Oh crap! Actually, can we mention this now? Whilst we're on it, Smash Brothers. You went to the
I
round
did.
table discussion, David
I
Scammell,
did.
for
It was a...
Smash Brothers.
Man, now Pac-Man's in it.
It did announce
but
Pac-Man in it.
They announced. See,
Would you like to hear the reaction
you
when
said
they announced
that.
Pac-Man?
Steve, is that the first time you've heard that news? That Pac-Man's going to be in Smash
Yeah,
Brothers.
that's why they revealed it. Isn't it?
Anyone else? Is that the first time for anyone here? Because
Yes, it is.
so your reaction then was muted. You didn't really feel the need to
Scream.
You didn't need to express anything, really.
It's fucking Pac-Man.
Do you want to hear the reaction of the crowd at this round table that
Now,
they went to?
I must make it clear,
Yep.
this is a collection of fans and games journalists.
Okay.
I'm not sure which of those two groups made this reaction, but I recorded the entire thing. So, without further ado, here it is.
It's better work. So that's
Pac-Man. It honestly is. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin has just come out in 1989.
It's still going. It goes on for about 30 seconds, Bratters.
oh was that you at the end there the woo?
I kept incredibly quiet about the whole thing. I thought, what the fuck is going on?
What have I done with my life to end up in this discussion?
Kill all game journalists.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see? There you go.
This fucking Pac-Man is in Smash Bros.
It's Pac-Man.
It's exciting, isn't it?
I mean, you know,
Wacka wacka.
it looked quite cool. Yep, I'll turn that off.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Batman
did.
and Moss Bros.
You know, I mean,
Pac-Man
I'm
and
not one
Bros.
to judge,
Yeah.
but if you're going to get excited about things, there's better things in life I can think of.
Did you have a fun time at the round table discussion?
Well,
Any good questions?
there was a highlight. I wish I could skip to it right now.
Yep.
There was one gentleman who, during the Q&A session, he asked, I am a Super Smash Brothers professional player. And
That was the intro.
and a commentator
Nice.
and a tournament organizer. If
Plus
I
actor.
and this was to the game director, if I challenge you
Yeah.
to a game and I beat you, will you hire me to help balance the game?
That's how the games industry works, though, right?
And I thought,
You have to beat people at their own games, and then they have to hire you. It's like a golden rule.
a bit arrogant, but as a Brit, I won't say anything. Do you
How
know?
do people like
You know.
sit over here?
And
You apologise on his behalf.
his response was, "Have you ever made a video game?" And that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The room erupted
Nice shit
in
down
laughter.
They re-revealed Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yes, oh, fucking hell. Play it again.
But no, I was
Nintendo.
Started the discussion, I thought it was like Michael Pachter had been revealed as a character in Smash Bros. That'd be amazing.
that I would be doing that reaction.
Just
if that was the case.
speculates that everyone else is going to die and it happens.
So yeah, I mean, if Miller sends me to another one of those next year, I think I'm just going to slip my wrists
Did
now.
you ask any questions
We've been
yourself?
between us. We've been to 4.
I went to a
of those
Pokemon
things.
one last year.
I went to an Ubisoft one. It was terrible. They're terrible, those round tables Nintendo do. Sorry, Nintendo. But they are absolutely awful. It's just a bunch of nothing. Nothing ever comes out of it.
Well, Pac-Man came out of this one,
Pac-Man
and,
came out of this one.
and that, yeah.
Came out.
People were very happy.
The thing is, though, is that Pac-Man. Obviously, people give a shit about Pac-Man. Yet they
And
announced
buy
that.
his games.
They announced that.
His.
Well, who was that other character they announced on the direct?
The
I don't
Kid
even know who
Icarus-
it was.
Kid Icarus character, I'm not sure. Her
I
name
don't-
Yeah, it was
Seems
all
to be-
Kid Icarus.
What? Why not
She
announce?
seems like a sorceress or something.
Yeah.
I
Why
don't
not
know.
announce Pac-Man on the one where millions of people are going to be watching it, rather than a room full of 30,
Yeah, it is true. I don't know.
super
No answer
nerds?
then.
I don't know.
But yeah, Nintendo's was good. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought.
I honestly think it was one of the most interesting things, like press conferences compared to the others. There's a bunch of new stuff. I think the Wii U might be coming back a little
No,
bit.
it's not.
Mario Kart had started it off. Zelda's going to be a
But
big
Zelda doesn't.
push in
Well, it
that
never
regard.
has sold recently. Sort of, that millions. It's not like a 20 million selling game. It's
No,
not like,
it-
it doesn't sell as much as Mario.
Splatoon, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna revolutionise the games world as we know it.
No man.
It uses the Wii U gamepad in fairly sensible ways to move
My
around the
only
map.
problem with Splatoon is it just sounds filthy, isn't it?
Did they show anything of Star Fox?
No, it wasn't even announced.
Apparently,
was a bit
there-
It was
blurry.
announced.
It was a
Was
blurred.
it?
Yeah, it was in their press release.
They had a.
Oh,
Was it not in the
missed that
thing?
entirely.
They did
Shot of
announce
it at the
it.
end.
It was blurred out at the end of the direct.
Oh right.
It's out next year.
Miyamoto was playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miyamoto
These
did the
guys don't
classic.
understand.
Oh,
It's a
you
big
just
game."
caught me developing a game.
Yeah,
Hi
why-
there.
They said.
Why do they spend so long on Splatoon and yet Star Fox?
Why
it's
did
like,
they spend so long on Yoshi Yarn?
Yeah.
Jesus, that developer
Because there's nothing
diary.
else to talk about.
Splatoon,
Oh,
Star Fox.
We've already.
Pac-Man,
they obviously,
anything.
they obviously didn't want to talk about Star Fox yet for reasons that will never be made clear.
Yeah,
But Yoshi Yarn, man, come on.
No,
I read a
Yoshi's
really
Woolly
interesting
World.
thing about Star Fox today. Apparently,
Listen
the
to yourself,
TV
you
is
prick.
going to show you the view behind your ship.
Huh?
Like, you're going to play the game on the gamepad, and your TV is essentially a giant rear view mirror.
Star Fox.
Yeah, it's just Star Fox.
I quite
What?
like that. Is that bad?
It feels like that
Actually,
should.
your TV is a rear view mirror.
It feels like that should be the other way around,
If that's his
probably.
idea, that's probably because that's the best way it worked.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea
could
of
be
that.
wrong.
I like the idea of people actually doing something other than it's on your gamepad.
It feels like it should be the way around though. You should be looking at the TV, which is going to be the better screen, and looking down at your
Maybe
rear
you can
mirror.
select. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. It wouldn't make sense for them to limit that, right?
What games did people see today?
I played Fable Legends, which it has British voices in it. It was a 4-player co-op with another player being
They all
the
sound a
villain.
bit like you, actually, didn't they?
Not really at all. And I'm not sure how good or bad the villain was, but I didn't feel like I was playing against another player. Occasionally, like they get to pick where they place monsters and everything. Occasionally, I'd walk through somewhere because I was the tanky character, and a gate would close behind me, separate me from the rest of the party, and then I was like, oh, that was clearly something that was done on purpose. That was literally all I I got from it that suggested that there was another player involved.
It's going to be
in the
free to
enemies.
play, and it's going to be free to play.
Does it actually feel like a Fable game?
No.
Because I got that
No,
impression.
it feels like an arena game where, because each character, there's 4 different classes. There's like a tank, a healer,
Fable
a
MOBA.
rogue, a mage. Not a MOBA, but like an arena game where you have to work together with a few different abilities. It feels like that Dungeon Master game we played that was a free to play thing a while back.
That we played.
Yeah, it was.
Did we?
Like a something for the weekend video.
It was so good, I can't remember it
Exactly,
at all.
and yeah, I mean, it's got the Fables license, it's got the art style, and it's got the voices, and you can buy haircuts after missions, and that's about as much of Fable that I got from it. But I only played a little bit of the demo. Like, it was as
It's
much as I
really
was
not
allowed
a
to.
Fable game at all, really.
Doesn't feel like it. It hasn't.
Do you know what? I like Fable.
I do.
It's alright. It's a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever really achieved what people want from it. But
Do you remember when he said you could grow a tree? And
I don't know. It was quite. It was that if you could stop the tree from growing if you stepped on in the wrong place of the world at the wrong time.
Still total bollocks, though.
No, who gives a shit? Who
Either
gives a shit if
way.
you step on a
Has any
tree?
game ever managed to achieve something like that?
Dragon Age. It didn't. I just segueing.
Right. You played Dragon Age.
I didn't play Dragon Age.
You watched someone play
I
Dragon Age.
watched. Not even that. I'm not even sure the person was playing it. I think it was a scripted demo. I kept trying to look
watched
for
a
the
video.
guy, and I was like, it was like a demo with Mike Laidlaw, who what's the name of my driving instructor back in the day?
Excellent bit of trivia that is.
Wonderful.
Simon. Thank you
Did
very
he pass
much.
you first time?
They did 3 minors.
Very
He,
well
he didn't
done.
have dual controls in his car, mate.
There you
Laidlaw.
go.
He
That
just
bodes
pull
well
up on
for
the
Dragon Age,
handbrake.
doesn't
Maybe put the phone number for this man in the bottom of
My,
the
I
my,
will do,
nan,
actually,
my
yeah.
nan never believed me. She said, "There can't be true." I said, "He doesn't." He goes, "They must be hidden." What is hidden car, Nan? What are you
Right.
talking
Back
about?
to Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I mean, my problem with Dragon Age, and I really like Dragon Age as well, is it looks incredible. I mean, literally, it looks incredible. Like the Frostbite engine is very impressive tech, but it seems so desperate to try and just use that as its selling points at the moment. That I don't get any sense of the story. Like, I
Yeah.
understand the story they're trying to tell, but I don't get a sense of how it's going to tie into everything else.
It's a
how
difficult
the
one,
choices
though,
are
isn't
gonna-
it?
Well, it's a demo, isn't it?
If you
That sort of
imagine-
Well, it's not impossible
Because
because
it's like it's going to be like an 80-hour game, isn't it?
But that's
So-
it. And before I saw Origins, I thought Origins looked garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
imagine-
thought Origins
imagine-
absolute
Imagine-
shit.
Imagine
Yeah, and
Imagine
I played
demoing
it
that
and
to
went,
someone. It looks old-fashioned and like isn't the prettiest of
No,
games.
but this one is I mean, genuinely could be the nicest next look gen, new gen, whatever game I've seen. Like it's and it's so big as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem with it. It's hard to get excited about it because all I'm doing is watching a bunch of people I have no connection to smacking other things in the face, and it's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. And I do genuinely think they're having to start again. That's why it's not Dragon Age 3 because Dragon Age 2 threw so much of Origins out the window. Now should be the culmination of it all. Like, Alistair Morrigan, your dude, but they didn't. They made a
Like
mistake.
Highlander 2. Just
Yeah.
really fuck the chronology.
It's true, because now I still want to be my original Grey Warden. But now we've had 3 main characters. It's like, that's not a
Oh,
BioWare
God, no,
thing, is it? It's like...
I made Ferenz the elf. He was a right prick. I hope he never comes back.
Well, I feel like it's disconnected. They said, some people will turn up. Well, they did in 2.
Yeah,
All right, how you doing?
waves as they run
exactly.
past on the screen.
Exactly. And the whole Morrigan thing has been, where's my demon spawn?
Did they mention
Where's
any
No,
Morrigan stuff?
no. They have to sort out what happened to my kid. A massive spoiler there. But you've had like 8 years or whatever it is, so come on now.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a spoiler. It's not everyone decided.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's
it looks
optional.
really good. And I saw Battlefield Hardline as well, which I think is just a mod for Battlefield. I'm convinced DICE have made it and they're pretending Visceral did it. It's really fun
Yeah.
to play, and it's quite weird to be in a Battlefield game and see like streetcars driving around. Like, that's a bit like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
How big are the maps, though? Are they...
Too big.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The one I played, and everyone's going, well, just get in one of the vehicles. I couldn't find a vehicle.
Yeah.
So I had to jog for like a marathon for like 10 minutes, then I got shot, and I had to do it again. And at one point, and I am stupid in many ways, but I can use a controller. I couldn't figure out how to get out of the car.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I've never played a game before. I hit every button. You have to hit 3 buttons. I was like, what the fuck?
I do think maybe Rainbow Six has winded it a little bit. Like, it just
It's a lot like Rainbow Six.
and Rainbow Six just seems to be that much more impressive.
Yeah,
as
that
well,
was a
but-
great-
But that's, the
Saw
thing,
it.
but that's the thing, it looks like talk about that actually. Talk about
Yeah.
played Rainbow Six.
Because Rainbow Six Patriots was the thing. Press X to kiss wife. And then suddenly Siege was announced, and I was at the behind closed doors thing yesterday, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can go and see Rainbow Six upstairs." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay," because I've not really been interested in Rainbow Six since the first Vegas game, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was the most interesting Ubisoft game there because it's not just another open world gruff 30-something angry man
Did
simulator.
you play it?
No, I didn't play it, but it's very much like Counter-Strike in a way. Terrorists versus counter-terrorists, objective-based.
Yeah.
Is it solely multiplayer then? Is it multiplayer focused game?
I hope so.
Yeah, it looks that way.
But the example, the level they showed was in a large suburban house, and there was a hostage, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah, it was the same demo they showed in the conference room, right?
But seeing it live, as in people in the room playing it, was more interesting because just their strategies and blowing open walls for lines of sight.
That's what I was wanted to ask. I wonder how true that destruction is, because obviously it was.
I think there
demo.
are just areas that you can blow up. So
there was a window they needed to open at one point. It was clearly something that was designed to be.
But you can shoot through bits of walls. So if you fire your gun, you will open up like I said, line of sight through, so you can see through one hallway into another. And yeah, it just seemed very cool. It seemed that in a lot of multiplayer games, shooting games, it's kind of like more is more. It's like, now we've got 64 players.
Now we've got joke, more
it's James Cameron. Less isn't more.
That's right.
More is more.
But
4-on-4, one life. You get a few minutes at the start to plan your attack. You can't do
I like
it all.
that because games don't do that anymore, do
Yeah.
they?
And it looked really good. A very controlled game, not sprawling, not complete madness, but you needed to.
I like that focused, right?
Yeah, and the natural limitations of your abilities drive the teamwork.
Yeah.
Whereas in other games, you just fuck off. And you're like, now I'm going to get in a jet. Whereas in this, if there's not someone behind you or looking behind you, you're probably already dead. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. We'll have to see.
I don't trust my friends to play that game properly. That's my worry. You need people that want to do that spot on, because the way they showed that demo anyway, it was even the way they were approaching the building was.
In actuality, people were just going to run in the front door and then get hosed. But then again,
you kick down doors. They started that in Rainbow Six, kicking down doors.
Yeah, and you can. In fact, you could. They showed one example at the end where they needed to breach a room, and they just go to the kind of floor above, place an explosive on it, and blow straight into.
That's cool.
Into the room. That's what I mean. I wonder if that's the only part of that room that you can blow up, or if
it
you
wouldn't
can do
surprise
it anywhere.
me. But
that would be incredible.
I think the point is that everyone knows that entry point.
Yeah.
And so you have to. So the terrorists have access to the CCTV in the house, so they can see where everyone else is, like Night Trap and shit. And so if everyone knows where you can and can't be breached, then everyone has to make an informed decision about how they go about it. And so on the next round, when you switch teams, you'll have the experience. So really, they need a lot of maps that are as good as that.
Yeah.
And they also need to stop just having one woman as the flag, essentially. But
I saw someone on Twitter that introducing woman as the hostage.
Yeah, I saw a good tweet.
And
good tweet, whoever that was.
Contextually, you could have a woman, obviously, in a house being a hostage, but the rest of the game is built around, they're talking about, they're in the child's bedroom, but where's the child? And so it just seemed like they just plonked her in as a kind of damsel for you something to be.
Is that in the real game as well? It's like a thing that keep the woman alive.
In that particular mission, I don't know. I doubt that would be the thing across the board.
It's like Counter-Strike. You either kill everyone else or you recover her.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like in that demo they did, and well, actually no, it was unclear as to whether they won or not. But her house was fucked. Like even if she survived,
while I was watching it, all I thought was,
man, the
insurance is not going to pay out on any of this.
And they won't even believe what happened.
No.
So some guys grappled down the side of my wall, broke through, blew a hole in my fucking house.
And they C4'd the entire driveway.
Yeah. I mean, I was
Bastards.
saved, but everything.
But now I don't have a house, so I've got to go on the streets, and it's a fate worse than death.
I'm interested about it though. Again, I said yesterday, I still don't trust Ubisoft to deliver on that when it actually comes out. But they reveal
games really well, regardless of whether or not that becomes the final product.
I played Sunset Overdrive today as well, which I got bored of within 5 minutes. Is that how long we played it for?
Yeah.
It's really easy to play. As soon as you got the control in your hand, it all makes it. It's very Tony Hawk like, that kind of.
Tony Hawk's meets Crackdown starring Van Wilder.
Someone told me today that they thought it was very busy. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, it is a bit. I get that as well. But in terms of actually playing it, you learn this in seconds.
Yeah,
I think you use like 4 buttons or something. But it's just it doesn't. I don't know. There's just not enough there. There's not enough there. Like it feels really empty, and after fight, I was a bit bored. And the weapons, because like Insomniac are like known for making cool weapons and shit, aren't they? And the weapons,
especially over the top stuff. Yeah.
They all feel weak. I was firing some stuff. I didn't know if bullets were coming out of it or not.
Yeah.
So it was like, there's no impact to the weapon. Like, it's just rubbish. I got really dull. I don't get it.
The minute I saw a submachine gun in that game, I was like, is that really
I don't
what
mind
you
that
wanna
much. I think, but we played the multiplayer, which I didn't really understand. It's like Horde, basically.
Yeah.
I think that game probably thrives better in single player when you're trying to combo everything
Yeah.
together. I did none of that because I couldn't really, get a chance. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that game.
It's a very American game, I think.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of Bulletstorm in the difference between the single player and the multiplayer, because the multiplayer in that game...
Bulletstorm was quite clever, whereas I get the impression this isn't... I don't think there's...
It was more focused though, Bulletstorm, wasn't it? As
Yeah,
in it had a central tenet to it, which was the kind of whip thing.
Yeah, it had a point. This doesn't feel like it has
this
a point.
has grinding as its point, doesn't it?
But that's
you
okay.
grind
It was
everywhere.
fun enough, but I wouldn't hang my whole idea about a game on that idea. I don't know. I was done, but it's Horde mode, and if Horde's not done right, then it doesn't matter what your game mechanics are like. It's
I'm
dull.
surprised they actually started that off with by showing, by letting you play a multiplayer thing. I think
That's all it's
a
showing.
controlled single player thing would have been a better.
I think it needs
way
to play
to
single player,
display
but
it.
at the moment, I'm not massively excited about it. I think it's okay, and I like the fact it's that accessible. Well, that was really nice. We had a few seconds. Like, okay, I get this, but yeah, it just is not enough there. There's not enough depth. I wasn't
It's
massively.
not fun enough,
No.
despite how fun it looks visually.
Punishment.
Yeah. So yeah, who knows? I wouldn't. If I was Sony, I wouldn't be too worried.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to blow.
And that is like one of Microsoft's biggest games this year. Like that, I think that's perhaps the biggest thing they're showing off in their booth. Like in terms of
Forza Horizon 2.
But in terms of like the presence there, like you walk in, you see sunset straight away. They obviously want it to be a big deal.
It looks pretty.
Yeah. How does it sound? Actually, I didn't actually hear any of its.
Right,
So
just some man
I imagine
shouting
that
at me.
game having a nice soundtrack. It just looks like a game that
it was one of those things where you
sounds
put the headphones on, you got some dude walking you through it. Go, this is a gun, you shoot that with right trigger. And you change shoot that bumper. And you're just like, I can't
That's
hear what's going
probably,
on.
given how shit-eating the main character is,
Yeah.
that's probably just him.
Talk over him, yeah. So yeah, it was okay. It was the best thing I saw.
Struck me as this is Microsoft's Infamous.
It is very infamous-y.
Feels like
colourful.
another Dead Rising. I think. Dead
Yeah,
Rising
there's
really-
there's that to it. Even the enemies look a bit
Yeah.
Dead Rising-y. But yeah, it was okay. I wasn't massively fussed by it. I think I guess I'm more bothered than I was, but otherwise, no. And that's it. That's all the games. So I'm seeing everything tomorrow. Today was like a
Warm up.
slow-
Do you know what I want to
slow
hear
burn.
about though? A game that has excited someone in this room. Bloodborne, Mr. Stephen Burns.
Bloodborne.
You've compared it to two of your favourite games.
I know.
Resident
I
Evil
made
4,
made a huge
Dark
mistake.
Souls.
Yeah, well, it's by the dude that made Demon Souls and the original Dark Souls. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it's not a Souls game, but come on now, it is. Like the sound,
The atmosphere.
The sound it
everything
makes.
That way. Yeah.
yeah. The Resident Evil 4 comparison is, in the terms of the aesthetics and the mood, it's a gothic vibe, 19th century.
Where's it set? Is it?
It's set in a
Victorian
I
London
think it's
kind
called
of
like
thing, or not?
Yarnum or something, and it's kind of like
Yard.
yeah, that's the one, Epic Yarnum, and it's.
Kirby's a bit gone.
Everyone's very tired. It's like the thing. It's a Souls game, essentially. Like the combat is very similar. You've got a gun, but it's more crowd control.
What, as in like forcing enemies back a step, or what?
Yeah, I mean you can knock them down.
You've got a gun.
Yeah, it's like a
That was
blunderbuss.
in the leaked stuff, yeah.
But it is about melee combat still. Yeah. It's all about, again, like the Souls games, momentum, using yours and theirs against them. And a very cool atmosphere. Like, when Resident Evil 4 started, and when you were walking through to the cabin in the woods, and then you went down into where the church was, and there was a guy tied to the stake and burning. There's a scene that's almost identical to that in this game. And yeah, I'm glad that they kind of move it away from the fantasy lore of demons and Dark Souls and into something a little bit more modern, whilst retaining all the architecture and the intricacy of the levels looks to still be
I
there.
agree. I think free games, I kind of wanted something a bit different from it. I'm just surprised that they didn't seem to talk about it all during the press conference. It was like, oh yeah, Bloodborne. All right, it's from software.
I don't like the name either.
Why didn't they?
They've just gone Dragonborn.
Yeah,
and gone,
I don't like it.
Why was Miyazaki not there? And why didn't they just go and point at him and go, look, he made this. Why
Well,
everyone
brilliant.
get excited? Like they move past it so fast.
Did you play it? Or was it
No, it was hands off, unfortunately. But
No, maybe that's what. I guess it's early, but still, it just seems like a game they probably should have talked
they'll probably
about
have a really good Gamescom showing. It felt like that. It felt like announce it. The build was very early, I think. There was no HUD, and I think that's mainly because they didn't want to show off exactly how the Soul system works.
I think a lot of games are going to be at Gamescom.
Yeah.
That's probably one of them.
But and the frame rate wasn't great. It was crawling a lot, but there was a lot of visual fidelity in the game. There is now dynamic lighting. So
What?
Yeah.
For how long? Steve?
Well, exactly. I was tempted to make a gag about that, but I thought,
It's a really bad gag.
today's
I
looking tough
apologise.
already. Maybe I'll just keep that one down. So, yeah, very interesting. I thought it was a great showing, and I can't wait to see more of it.
All right, cool. Anyone played anything else?
No, that was it today.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
I spoke for a long time about a game that may or may not exist.
Oh shit! Yeah, actually, you went to talk to Criterion, right, about their new
They just
game
wanted
that's got
helicopters.
lots of vehicles
That's all
in
they
it.
wanted. They wanted free helicopters.
So it's just a series of ideas at the moment, by the sound of it. There's not an actual. I mean, the end idea is going to be that there'll be a game come out of it.
Oh, I
but,
should hope so.
But I don't think they quite know exactly what it will or won't be at this stage. It's quite interesting that they want to open the doors up basically and show exactly how. They want.
It's going to work.
They've basically reacted to what's going on in early access, I think, and what independent
Yeah.
stuff
It's
is
like
doing.
kind of weird that the Criterion story from the EA conference was essentially Game Studio is making game.
Yeah.
that's enough though for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and that's I
Yeah,
think,
well, yeah, BioWare. Like, we got a new IP. Anything else? No. Okay.
And and I asked
Anyway.
I asked if it meant Burnout was dead, now, because this is clearly very early on and it's going to be taking another couple of years at least, I imagine, until we see it. And I said, "Is this the end of Burnout? Are you going to focus on this?" And he said, "No. Why would we kill Burnout prematurely?" Is basically what he said. So
You
there's
haven't had a burnout in what? 4 years?
Well, I said this. It's been so long now.
Yeah.
Like,
Had that
But-
iPad game. Sorry.
well, yeah, but he was pretty adamant that Burnout was still something that they believed in. And
Your interview on that is brilliant. I read some of the stuff you transcribed, and it was like, so what is this game? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah.
That's why you're in, David Scammell.
It's like, I'm surprised they even showed it. Like,
That's what he said.
That's the gist of the interview, really.
That's,
though, isn't it?
it's paraphrasing, but that's
So weird. Such a weird thing. Well, I guess it's good to know they're working on something, but
Yeah.
we assume.
I mean, it could be great if it's Burnout with helicopters and speedboats and all
Maybe
that
this
shit,
is a
like-
Burnout game.
He's-
Why would you
Maybe-
not use the
maybe it
license?
is.
Maybe that's what he was getting at. Why would you not burn out everything or something? I don't know, some stupid name.
Burn
Or
out everything.
Burn out all or
That
nothing.
works.
I mean, he suggested it was
Burnout
like
Goldfinger.
Burnout Paradise with loads of cars, well, loads of vehicles.
The rise of
so-
Burnout.
How's that going to work? Helicopter wins every time, surely. No route. Fly wherever it wants.
I don't know.
I'll have to fly through
Helicopter,
little-
you just go as the eagle flies to the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this rate, if we
Drop the
start
mic.
answering these questions, we could work for Criterion by the sound of it.
Sweet.
This is a
like-
design document for the game.
They're listening right now, going right.
Oh, yeah, that's
write
a good
that
idea.
down.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so no, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like it's hard to get excited for it
Mhm.
because
Because what is it? It's nothing. Exactly.
That's what I said. I said this to him. It seems like a pitch rather than a product at the moment.
Oh,
and
Dave.
you're,
Nice.
you're selling an idea.
Valentine.
Well, no, but it's true though, isn't it?
No,
They're
it's
kind of
Remote.
selling a series of ideas to people and getting a reaction, seeing what people like, what they don't.
Well, like
like.
every Ubisoft trailer ever.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, but
Speaking of those boys, saw them today.
Mm-hmm. Had a nice chat with Ubisoft, did you?
We
Steve?
did.
Ask any questions,
I've
Steve.
been out,
Ask any questions
I've been out
about
making
the
friends
games?
and influencing people,
Yep.
mainly for them to shoot me through the window, which
Actually,
probably
yeah,
probably
we-
closes curtains.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that or not?
No, I don't even talk about that.
All right.
Go to VideoGamer.com, innit?
Yeah.
What's everyone seeing tomorrow? When's this going up? Today? Tomorrow?
Who knows?
Wednesday?
Well, it depends what time zone you're in. Yeah.
I've seen WWE. I got a special appointment with WWE. I'm only one of 2 UK people that have got it. I don't know what's happening in it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wrestle.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I've just realised I'm seeing Skylanders.
Oh,
Shit!
Dave.
I'm seeing The Witcher 3. Can't wait.
Oh,
I'm going
See
there.
Activision, Warner Brothers.
Mm.
What do you see tomorrow?
Well, I can't actually say because the first one is
Oh, yeah,
is Hush
things.
Hush.
Is it?
And then I'm seeing
So
other
Hush Hush,
stuff
I don't
that's
know.
also. Well, I'm seeing something about men and war,
Mhm.
which
Men and War.
and men and sport.
Excellent.
So all games.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
That,
yeah.
that sounds very, very interesting, everyone. I'm actually going to go and see a new Warhammer 40,000 MMO.
Yeah.
So
Forward to that. Chat
tell you
out
what.
also known
tomorrow.
as Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
If you're into that stuff.
You have fun, Braz, because
I
you've
will be.
earned it.
Thank you
I'm
very
so
much.
glad you're doing that and not
Cheers.
me.
Excellent.
Yeah, I am too. I want to do that.
And yeah, I guess that wraps it up for day one, whatever you want to call it. It's Tuesday of the E3
We're all pretty tired
2014.
this
This was Video Game UK Podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Burns, get the fuck off my bed.
Whoa!
Jesus
Whoa.
Jim, that's literally the most you've said in this podcast.
I'm kidding.
I'm going to do some ironing now.
All right, we should really stop this podcast. Someone stop it from recording.
See you later, guys.
All right,
Bye.
bye.